Woo! What's going on, guys? Orange Forum coming at you guys today with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Detroit Lions, and I just came across an article on social media. I believe it was Facebook. It's pretty much the only thing I really look at nowadays. Um, Apparently, the Lions have the fourth most difficult remaining NFL schedule on the docket. Now, do you remember when they had the second most easiest schedule? I do. I remember that. I remember that was what, 7, 8 weeks ago? We're into week 6, so it was a couple of weeks before the season or a week before the season when that article came out that they had the second most easiest schedule in the NFL. Now we have the fourth most difficult. Man, have times changed. I try to be positive when I can with this team. I don't sugarcoat a lot of things. I don't say things so my subscriber count goes up. I don't try to make Lions fans feel like everything's all rosy and it's all rainbows and unicorns at the end of the rainbow. Like I don't try I try to tell the truth. I'm completely worried about this football team. I'm very nervous about what's going on. We are 1-4 currently. Losses to the Eagles, Vikings, Seahawks, and the Patriots. The Eagles, it was one of those games where they got a big lead on us and then we came back, fought back. Vikings probably should have won that game. Some blunders happened in that game. Seahawks, everybody and their mama had us pretty much winning that football game against Seattle at home. And it was a shootout. There was like almost 100 points scored in that game alone between both squads. And then I think a lot of people had us beating the Patriots. And then we just lost that game. Got embarrassed, actually. Absolutely embarrassed. And we beat the Commanders, in a hard-fought game as well, too. Had a good lead on them. And then kind of washed and came back. Looks like maybe we were letting up. First time in a long time that the Lions were kind of keeping their foot off the gas pedal, per se. So 1-4 going into the season. Everybody, 1-4 at the 6-week mark. And then now we're looking at the fourth toughest or most difficult remaining NFL schedule. Now, we got a bye week this week, so everybody's Lions free. Everybody can have a good Sunday. We don't have to worry about this team upsetting us or anything like that in that nature. So you look at this schedule and it's right. So of all the teams that people were circling for wins this year, and I was probably one of them as well, but I did have this team only winning 6 games, 6 on the floor, 9 with the ceiling. If we got lucky and showed a lot of improvement, I thought maybe we would get to 9. I don't necessarily think I was drinking the Kool-Aid or anything like that, but I thought we would show definite improvement. And we've showed improvement in some areas, but some areas we're still the same old Lions. And I hate that phrase, but it's the truth. If you look at this schedule, though, of the teams that we have to play, we got 12 games remaining. Let's go over those games. And I'm going to tell you what I think our record is going to be at the end of the year. We're already 1-4, so this is what I think is going to happen. We come off the bye. We go to Dallas. We play the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys run the football. Dak should be back. Dak Prescott, their quarterback, even though Cooper Rush is doing a fine job over there. But he's not doing anything that's really winning them football games because they play lights out defense and they run the ball extremely well. But Cooper Rush is playing well. So I got us losing that game. Then we come home for 2 games in a row. Play the Dolphins. Tua should be back. Not that Tua is a great quarterback, but I think he'll be back. They got Skylar Thompson. I think their 6th or 7th round rookie quarterback that they picked playing today because Teddy Bridgewater's out too with a concussion. So we play the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. They don't really have a good defense. They run the ball well, though. I have us losing that game too. I have us losing that game too. I think it'll be a shootout though if our offense can sustain what they've been doing. Then we're at home versus the Packers. Packers aren't really that great of a football team this year. Rodgers is not having a great year. He's missing a lot of wide. He's missing his main guy, Devontae Adams, moving on to the Raiders. Doesn't really have a good wide receiver core. Should be a good running core. Aaron Jones is kind of up and down. AJ Dillon's up and down as well. Had a couple good games between the both of them. Their old line is, it's supposed to be better than it is. It's still good though. Defense is up and down as well, but they can get to the quarterback. It's Aaron Rodgers. I have us losing that game. Then we go to Chicago. Okay, I'm like, okay, they're in Chicago. Justin Fields, I don't think is necessarily really the answer over there, but there's problems over there in Chicago with the O-line. The wide receiving core is not very good. They do play good defense though. Chicago's always been known for their defense, and they play some really good defense over there. I have us losing that game because it's in Chicago. Then we go to the Giants, and I know a lot of people had the Giants circled as a win too. Giants are 4-1. Brian Daboll, their head coach, former Buffalo Bills OC, has that team humming. They're not necessarily a really 4-1. It might be a little bit of a mirage in New York. They play some pretty good defense though over there. They do play some pretty good defense, even though they're missing quite a bit of guys on that defense. Barkley is a monster at running back. They don't really have any wide receivers, and Daniel Jones, the quarterback, isn't very good. So they're basically getting carried by Barkley and that defense. I have us losing that game too at New York, just because they're finding ways to win. And then the Thanksgiving game, we're back home versus the Buffalo Bills. I don't need to tell you what I think is going to happen here, but I will. Josh Allen could possibly drop 80 on this team, and I'm not even joking. It probably won't happen. 80 is probably ridiculous, but I could see 60. I could see 60 unless they just completely give up and just don't stop, and unless they just don't let their foot off the gas and just coast, because they have a good team all around, the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is probably one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. They got a good old line, decent running game. Not the greatest running game, but it's okay. And they're looking to make moves. Could they possibly get McCaffrey? Who knows? Then they have a pretty good defense. They get to the quarterback. They do things. Should be a good game today, though, with the Bills versus Kansas. I think that's today. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills. I think that's today. So that should be a shootout game. But the Bills might drop 60 on us. So we're going to have to score at will against that team. So I got us losing that game. And then the Jaguars. Then we're at home versus the Jaguars. I'm going to give us a win here. Even though Jacksonville is playing better football, they're still kind of a train wreck. Trevor Lawrence don't really know too much. It looks like he's improved one week, and the next week it's kind of inconsistent is what I want to say. Got some weapons over there. Christian Kirk's been kind of a pretty good free agent pickup, even though he got paid way too much money. Marvin Jones is over there. They got Zay Jones. They can run the ball. They got J-Rob over there. They got Etienne. And then they got a pretty good defense. They got a defense that takes away the ball a lot. But it's at home versus Jaguars. I think we win. So there's our second win of the season right there. Right? Second win of the season. And we don't get that until week 13? 12, 13? Yeah, week 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wow. Okay. And then we got we're at home versus the Minnesota Vikings. Even though the Vikings have been squeaking out some wins here and there, That a pretty lucky win, I thought, against the Bears last week, pulling that ball out of was it Daryl Mooney's hands? Was Cameron Dantzler, their corner. They were probably going to lose that football game, or they would attempt to kick a field goal or something, and then they ended up winning that game on a strip fumble, whatever, by Cameron. It was a good play by the defense, Minnesota defense. But we played them pretty tough in Minnesota. I'm going to give us a win. I'm going to give us a win here, and I think we win that football game. So that's 2 wins in a row. People are going to start getting back on board, even though it's only like 3-4 wins on the season so far. But yeah, that'll be win 3, okay? That'll be win 3. Then we go to the Jets, and I think the Jets are a very improved team, offensively, defensively. They got some really nice weapons on the offense, too, with Garrett Wilson and then Breece Hall. Zach Wilson, still learning but getting better. Defense, they got some guys over there. So I think that's going to be a problem, too, with the Jets. Going to New York, we can't win on the road. I got us losing. And then the Panthers. We go to Carolina. Whoever their quarterback's going to be at this time, who knows? Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, PJ Walker. I don't know who it's going to be. This could be a fight for top 2, top 3 pick right here. I think we're going to have a top 3 pick or top 5 pick anyways. Now, I never thought this at the beginning of the year. But Carolina, I think we win. I think we'll win this game. That puts us at, Carolina, we're going to win. And then we have the Bears at home next week. And I think we win that game in a tough, probably like a 20-17 game. I don't see us scoring a bunch of points against that defense. Their defense is pretty solid. And I think our defense will play a little bit better against that offense in Detroit. Even though Justin Fields could run all over us. And we don't know what's gonna happen there, to tell you the truth, right? Like, to be honest with you, who knows what happens there? Sorry about the camera movement. And so I got us winning that game right there. I think we'll win a close one at home. And then we got the Packers on the road, last game of the year. The Packers, I think, will be winning games, losing games kind of throughout the year. They'll be probably maybe on the verge of either winning the division, or Minnesota will run away with the division. Who knows? I don't really know what's going on. But Minnesota isn't a great team. But this is a kind of the NFC North isn't anything special, even though Minnesota's winning and Green Bay's Green Bay, right? Chicago and Detroit were terrible, and so it could be a race between Green Bay and Minnesota, unfortunately. And then they'll probably won't be sitting guys. They'll probably either fighting for a playoff spot or playoff position, something along those lines. And we're going to lose that game. So we're 1-4 going into week 7. I got us winning against the Jaguars, right? So that's number 2. I got us beating the Vikings. Let's win number 3. Panthers 4. Bears 5. So that puts us at 5-12. 5-12, right? Because I have us losing against the Cowboys, losing against the Dolphins, I believe. Yeah, that's good. That should be a shootout. But losing against the Dolphins, losing against the Packers, we're not going to beat them. Losing at Chicago, losing at New York, losing at home versus the Bills. I think we beat the Jaguars, hopefully. I think we'll beat the Vikings. And then we lose to the Jets, win the Panthers, win versus the Bears at home, lose at Green Bay. So I basically have us winning the last 4 games out of 6. Oof. That's going to put this whole fan base right back in the good graces of this team. Meanwhile, it's a disastrous season. And it's just a prediction. I'm just having a fun prediction because I don't even think I even did a prediction video at the beginning of the year. I might have said 6, like I said, 6 to 9 wins, but I didn't make a prediction video. Not that I can recall. So times are looking rough, Lions fans. Times are looking rough, and I know people don't want to hear it, but I'm just trying to be real with everybody. Um, I'm just trying to be real, man. It just doesn't look. Dark days are ahead right now, and hopefully it turns around. And hopefully I'm wrong and we go on some type of run. But this is where I think we're at right now. 5-12, possibly 4-13. It could be even worse. Could it be better? It could be. It could be a little bit better. I just don't see the wins piling up. But winning the last 4 out of 6 games, that's going to get people on board again. Is it an illusion? What do you guys think that is? So I don't know, man. Hopefully it's a little bit better, but I'm looking at 4-13, possibly, hopefully 5-12. I'm not that far off prediction at 6 wins. So, but I'd like it to be a little bit better. We're still seeing the same stuff over and over and over again. So hopefully it gets better, guys. But thanks for the video. Enjoy week 6. We're Lions free for this week. We don't have to worry about our team. Hopefully we can regroup and have a good game against the Cowboys. I'm really nervous about that game. But thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button in the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell on top. And don't forget to like, share, comment this video out, man. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Go Lions. One pride, baby. Boom.